Hello guys, as you are watching this, Nigerians are already relocating en masse to Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, whichever way you may choose to call it. Nigerians have found a new home in the francophone country of Ivory, which is arguably the most developed in terms of infrastructure and in terms of economic development. In 2023, Ivory Coast was named the country with the second highest GDP per capita in the whole of West Africa, and they came second to Cape Verde, which was number one. And this is to tell you so much that the economy of Ivory Coast is quite stable, and that is one reason why the CFA appears to be stronger than the Naira and many other currencies across West Africa. For this reason, a lot of Nigerians and people from neighboring countries in West Africa are trooping en masse to Ivory Coast in search of greener pastures. Ivory Coast is one country in Africa with the most stable economy, and this explains why the CFA is valued much more than the Naira in exchange rate. Again, this is a major reason why many Nigerians are trooping into the country in search of greener pasture. If you are a Nigerian, there is so much to learn about Ivory Coast in this video, and that is why you should calm down and watch it to the very end. In the first video I posted of Abidjan, a popular city in Ivory Coast, I showed the breathtaking view of Abidjan at night, and I promised to be back with more exciting details about Ivory Coast. Well, this video, if you watch it to the end, you'll be able to see and appreciate the city and the country called Ivory Coast. And if you would love to relocate to the country like many Nigerians are already doing, then this is the video for you to watch. Hello guys, my name is Walker and I'm your host on Walker Diary. Before I go on, let me appeal to you guys to please kindly subscribe to my channel for free and help me achieve my goal of 10,000 subscribers before the end of December 2024. Also, give this video a thumb up, comment and share it for others to see. Despite being one of Africa's most stable and one of the biggest economies in West Africa, Ivory Coast is faced with two major challenges. One, Ivory Coast is the only country in Africa that has, witnessed two civil wars in the space of 10 years that has left millions of people displaced even till date. And secondly, the majority of Ivorians have no share in the country's economic success. This is why almost 40% of the 30 million people in Ivory Coast live below the national poverty line. And then the percentage of food insecurity is more than 40%. So while the country is growing its economy, the people are no part of it. And these are the two major challenges facing the country to date. Despite suffering from two deadly civil wars, within the span of 10 years, which saw the displacement of a lot of Ivorians, and the killing of a lot of people too in that country. The consistent growth which Ivory Coast has recorded in the course of time remains a kind of mystery to a lot of people across board in the whole of Africa and in the whole of the world. Don't forget, this country ranks among the biggest producers of agricultural products like cocoa, coffee, and the rest of them. This is because more than 50% of Ivorians engage in one form of agriculture or the other. More than 50% of Ivorians engage in one form of agriculture or the other. They are the largest producer of cocoa in the world and the third largest producer of cashew nuts behind India and Vietnam. With the revenue derived from farming cocoa, Ivory Coast built the country from scratch to where it is today. Now, as a republic, Ivory Coast runs a complete presidential system of government, and through its unwavering involvement in agriculture, the country became an economic powerhouse in West Africa during the 1960s and 1970s, until subsequently when the country experienced a series of economic crises that culminated into political and social turmoil from the 1980s until 2011, when the people rose up and revolted against marginalization of the common citizens by the political class. Following the uprising in 2011 that led to the forced exit of former President Laurent Gbagbo, Ivory Coast witnessed a 360 turnaround and an upward trajectory of its economy, which had been on steady rise ever since. From 2012 to 2023, the economic growth grew astronomically by an average of about 7.1% year in real terms, which is the second fastest rate of economic growth in Africa and fourth fastest rate in the world. Now let us begin to explore reasons why Nigerians love Ivory Coast. First is that Ivorians are friendly to a fault, and they live a communal lifestyle that is very infectious. Regardless of social status or class, Ivorians accommodate people of various strata of the society with no iota of discrimination, and they love to greet you with a kiss on the cheek for women. Families and friends love to eat in the same plate, and this is an age-long tradition among their ancestors. Also, Ivorians are officially the happiest people you can think of. In fact, it is said that if you insult an Ivorian, he will most likely laugh over it, and that's how friendly these people really are. There are over 5 million immigrants from other neighboring West African countries like Ghana, Cameroon, Benin Republic, and Niger Republic, who come to the city of Abidjan in search of a better life and to do business to support their families. There are also many local businesses owned by Nigerians in Abidjan. Citizens of Ivory Coast enjoy a high level of income compared to other countries in Africa. And this means that businesses do flourish in the country, and that is why there is a high number of immigrants besieging the country regularly. With the current strength of the CFA over the Naira and other currencies of other West African countries, more Nigerians are relocating en masse to Abidjan in search of greener pastures. It is also more important to know that there is a large community of Yorubas, Igbos, and Hausas in Ivory Coast, with all of them having separate quarters to themselves. Like, we have the Yoruba quarters, Hausa quarters, Biafra quarters, and the rest of them. Alright, so in this section of the video, let me tell you about two historic cities in Ivory Coast, and that is Yamoussoukro and Abidjan. These two cities play a major role in the economy of Ivory Coast. Abidjan, the Atlantic coast of Ivory Coast, as you already know, is the epicenter of economic activities in Ivory Coast. In fact, Abidjan gives a feel of Lagos with less crowd in the street daily. In Abidjan, there is Cote, a suburb and one of the 10 urban communities in Abidjan. It is upmarket and has an abundance of mansions. Cote is where most of the wealthy business people, ambassadors, and other affluent people live in Abidjan. The University Félix Houphouët-Boigny is located in Cote as well. Everyone naturally gravitates towards Abidjan because a lot of economic activities go on there, but they all return to the country's capital of Yamoussoukro during weekends. Yamoussoukro, on the other hand, is the opposite of Abidjan. It is calm, it is green and relaxing too. This is why people often return to Yamoussoukro during the weekends to relax and enjoy the breathtaking view of the city. Yamoussoukro is where the first president of Ivory Coast, Félix Houphouët-Boigny, comes from, and it is home to the biggest church in the world, the Basilica of Our Lady of Peace, a Catholic church that is actually dedicated to Our Lady of Peace in Yamoussoukro. According to Guinness World Record, it lists the Basilica of Yamoussoukro as the largest church in the world, having surpassed the previous record of St. Peter Basilica in Rome. It took 3 years to build the Basilica in Ivory Coast, and that is 1986 to 1989. It measures about 150 meters in width and can accommodate about 20 people praying at the same time. Also, we have the University of Yamoussoukro, situated in the city of Yamoussoukro. University of Yamoussoukro is one of the most reputable universities in the whole of Africa, with the best infrastructure and the most conducive learning environment you can think about. And this is another reason why a lot of people are relocating to Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire. Let's talk about the last part, street food in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire is the home of delicious street foods and other highly nutritious African dishes, and one of them is the popular achike. Achike is a typical breakfast and the most affordable food in Ivory Coast, but with high nutritional value. It is a combo of cassava flakes with fried tuna fish, peppered sauce and some vegetables. Ivorians love to eat with their hands, so you must know that you cannot enjoy the achike without using your hands. And lastly, when it's time to have unlimited fun in Cote d'Ivoire, please don't bother going to Abidjan or Yamoussoukro. Your best bet is Assini. Do this and thank me later. Hello guys, as you're watching this, Nigerians are already relocating and marched to Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, whichever way you may choose to call it. Nigerians have found a new home in the francophone country of Ivory, which is arguably the most developed in terms of infrastructure and in terms of economic development. Nigerians have found a new home in this country and they are not stopping. Subscribe to this channel and click on the bell notification sign beside the subscribe button so you'll be the first to get notifications when we drop new videos. Like, share and comment all of our videos.